The NHL playoffs are kinda like the weather, as in everyone who tries to predict them will only be reminded in the end that predictions only go so far. Throughout every year and every major upset displayed remains the unbridled uncertainty that no one is safe once the postseason begins. And as teams have fallen behind, so have a select few players. In this video, I'm going to explore the possibility of these players that underperformed this postseason being traded. And with that, here are 4 NHL players that could be traded due to their performance during the postseason. As soon as St. Louis captured the Cup last June, the imaginary baton was passed north to Toronto, as the Leafs sport the longest current Stanley Cup drought among all teams league-wide, with their last championship dating back to 1967. Therefore, as the team entered the bubble, the pressure was at an all-time high to defeat their opponents and to gain playoff entry. But unfortunately, after falling to the Columbus Blue Jackets in 5 games, the fan base, who has dealt with misery like no other, seemed to gravitate to Mitch Marner as a scapegoat. The forward, who has been a sensational offensive presence for the club for multiple seasons, found himself scoreless for the entire series against CBJ, with only 4 assists to his name. Marner, who took home $16 million total for his services in the season, was expected by the fan base to be more of a presence in the qualifiers. The criticism was so high-key that Kyle Dubas was even asked, quote, "What player do you want Mitch Marner to be next season?" End quote. And Dubas, who has remained confident in his core group, took up for number 16. Regardless, it begs the question, will Marner be the ultimate casualty for the Leafs' premature playoff exits? Even though dealing the forward would give the team some much-needed cap relief and provide more of a balance, unless Dubas is persuaded or replaced, in my opinion, Marner remains a Leaf.
What kind of player do we want Mitch to become?
Yeah.
Just what he is now. I don't get the criticism of Mitch Marner one bit.
This may sting a little. Nervous? Shh.
Similarly to Matt Murray, who was also a rookie who led his team to a Stanley Cup victory, Binnington, who has had immense success very early in his career, found himself admiring his team on multiple occasions from the bench this postseason. Binnington, who drastically fell from grace, did it in a dramatic fashion, while recording a .862 save percentage and a 4.27 goals against average, which is completely different from the sensational performance between the pipes last spring from the netminder, as he was able to put up a .914 save percentage and a 2.46 goals against average. But regardless, Benner seemingly left his goaltending expertise behind in the show-me state, as he routinely found himself being replaced in net by backup Jake Allen. Therefore, is it possible that the Blues will replace him after such a disappointing performance? The 27-year-old, who is only signed up until 2021 on an average of $4 million a season, would be an attractive addition for any team searching for youth in the crease. Even though it would be possible to move the Stanley Cup champ, Binnington, who has proven himself in the past to his franchise, most likely won't be relocating anytime soon. After failing to advance from the first round for the 3rd time in 4 years, Calgary's star players immediately began taking the heat, and one of those star players has been Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau, who has been a game-changer for the Flames offensively during the regular season, has struggled immensely when the games matter the most, as Johnny Hockey failed to register a single goal during his last 2 postseason series, before entering the bubble. Once in it, however, Gaudreau failed to produce outside of the man advantage, as 6 of his 7 registered points were on the power play alone. In fact, after 30 games played in the postseason, number 13 has only registered 18 points, with a measly 7 coming from full strength, which doesn't exactly mirror the 99 points Gaudreau recorded throughout the 2018-19 season. For Flames GM Brad Treliving, the offseason will be most likely a very productive one, as the organization is definitely going to be making drastic changes. But will Gaudreau ultimately be the one to go when the right deal presents itself? Gaudreau, who is set to make $6.75 million for the next 2 seasons, would be a great asset to add to any roster that's in need of a star winger. As for Johnny Hockey, he will probably be shipped out of Alberta sooner rather than later. Well, it's no secret that GM Jim Rutherford will be making moves this offseason. The real question is, which ones? After another devastating loss to the Montreal Canadiens in the qualifiers, following a series sweep at the hands of the New York Islanders, the organization is looking to make major changes moving forward. And even though Rutherford has voiced his desire to keep the core of Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Kris Letang together, Letang is the only one of the trio without a no-movement clause. The defenseman unfortunately failed to register a single point in the 4-game series against Montreal, but has been consistent offensively for the Berg while in the lineup, as he's battled multiple injuries throughout his time in the Steel City, as the last time the Blue Liner played a full season of 82 games was almost a decade ago, during the 2010-2011 campaign. Regardless, Letang, who is signed up until 2022, would be the easiest of the core to move if Rutherford decides to break them up. Even though number 58 has spent his entire career with Pittsburgh and won 3 cups with the team, it's entirely possible that he'll be sporting another team's sweater for the first time this winter.